one of the greatest shots of cinema right there. Great shot of cinema. Right there, this little house right here. Isn't that great? That's Francis Ford Coppola style, outsider style kind of thing. Absolutely brilliant. Just absolutely brilliant. Look at that. Isn't that great? Isn't that great? All done in one shot. Isn't that wonderful? We're going right over here to this nice little house. I'm going to switch the lenses real quick, so hold on tight. There we go. Switch the lenses for your pleasure. And there is the sun. Isn't that something right there? Here comes the sun. Here comes the sun my way. Da 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 da. Here comes the sun. Now it can be argued the sun is leaving, but even though it's leaving, it's coming back. So it's here comes the sun. Here comes the sun my way. Dun, 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 dun. Yep, today is the first day of the rest of your life. Did you know that, people? Good morning, Texas. Good morning. And we are schooling. Turning here on Schooling Road. Right there. Yep, you can see it clearly. And we're turning to the right here. And we are a-rolling. Let's roll.
Approaching a railroad crossing.
Always that railroad crossing. Right there's a deer crossing. You can see it. Barely, if you squint real hard to get a microscope and put it up to the screen, you can actually enhance that, and you can see that actually is a deer crossing right there. It's certain commuter, what do you call it? Computer technology. Actually, you know what? I'll just pass right by and show it to you. That way you can see it. I'm listening to Figure 8 by Elliott Smith right now. Probably one of his best albums, besides Basement. Then we're going to go right here. That's deer crossing right to the sunset. Then we're going to go into a good lens, and we're good to go. Whoa! Camera on. Then we're going to go into this interruption through social media. We're coming to some cattle, some cows. Camera off. What's cool about Grace and the sequels is that vampires are brought in later on the sequels. So werewolves are a part of it, the beginning part, and then later on the vampires are brought in the sequels of Grace. So Grace starts off as a werewolf movie, and then in the sequels, I'd say the second and the third, maybe the fourth one, then the vampires start coming in later. It starts off all werewolf. We don't know for sure if Grace Ullman III is actually a werewolf because of his history. If you follow some of the history on it, he has a backstory, Grace Ullman III. That's a cool little pond right there. You can kind of see it a little bit, or you could have, or I saw it. I could see it. Then we're going to go by some hay bales right over here, which is really cool. I really like these hay bales all along Texas and stuff. There's a lot of them in the field. I don't know if they put them there for the horses or just for show, but they sure look cool. They get a lot of attention, all these hay bales. And the werewolf film, the hay bales catch on fire. I gotta remember that for the final sequence. There's a lot of hay that catches on fire because of that device that John Blacksmith uses to kill werewolves, which uses a sulfur and a lot of different chemical components to spray the liquid silver. It has a heating component inside of it that explodes and gets on the hay and burns down half the farm in the end when Rainy Love attacks them when they're out looking for the werewolf. When they think it's actually Grace Lippin, but it's actually Rainy Love, the rock star. And I think in the next sequence, which I'm going to try to write maybe tonight, there's another duo sequence, meaning there's another sequence between the couple, Rainy Love and Grace Lippin. And I think you go into the trophy room of Grace Lippin, and I think Rainy Love comes in and talks about one of her tattoos. She wants to remove this tattoo of this band that she belonged to, and she wants to change the tattoo's name to Grace. So the name of the band that she was in, I don't know if it's called Love or something like that, or some name of a band, The Loves. And she wants to change that title, The Loves, to Grace. So she wants to change the lettering to Grace because she's like, I'm no longer in that band. I've devoted my life to you, kind of thing is what she tells him. It's kind of the scene where you see that Ray Love has devoted her life to Grace Lippin, the fighter. It's a really important scene. That's the next one I'm going to be writing coming up here pretty soon. It's about like page 90 or page 80, 80-ish page or so in the sequence of the whole movie. Right now, I'm in Justin, Texas, so I went through the backside. We're approaching Justin. Usually I go through the Speedway, but we went through kind of like towards Farm 156 in that area, not too far from Crum, on a road called 5th Street. So we're on 5th Street right now, and we just pulled into Justin. See? That's what that tower says right there, Justin. We're going to look at the railroad tracks here. Cool. And we're moving in this way right here. Justin's a small little town, too. I wonder if I can incorporate it in Grace. It'd be pretty cool. Ooh, I green lighted it. This looks really cool. Outlaw Burgers and Barbecue. That'd be a cool little scene. Maybe the werewolf goes in, kills everybody or something. A barbecue joint. I might could add that later. Maybe like a director's cut kind of thing. They're all just sitting there, and the werewolf just comes in right before the end of their shift. Just like kills everybody in the restaurant. Leaves all the barbecue sauce. Looks like we're on 3rd Street right here. Some margarita pizza. No, it's Mexican. Some Mexican place with a name kind of like Margarita or something like that. There it is, it's right there. Perfect place to park. Oh, here it is. It's like a pretty cool place, really. Look at it right here. It's got a little shack. Looks pretty cool, though. So Carpetbagger went into this Wizard of Oz experience, and this lady had this whole thing memorized. I guess she was kind of like an actress, whatever, they paid her to do it. And she walks you through this entire Wizard of Oz experience, and you go through the yellow brick road. So you go through the yellow brick road, and there's the whole story, pretty much kind of how the movie was, pretty much. Maybe some components that were more closer to the book, but mostly following the movie. And Dorothy has these ponytails, and she's starting off, and the house is tornado, and the whole thing drops her off. It'd be cool if they could paint it black and white, but they did it was mostly color. But I thought it was cool because then you go in this one section at the end, it turns all real colorful when she gets to the yellow brick road. And the whole thing was Carpetbagger pretty much got all of it. It's really good. It's a really good little thing. It's like a Wizard of Oz experience. And she had it all memorized. She even sang. There was like moments where she sang and stuff. She's a real good singer. It was really good. That's pretty cool. It's a drainage ditch. Right there off a windmill. That's pretty cool looking. You can kind of see it that way. Looks like they got some dogs. Okay, I got it. So Jordan the Lion would probably be the Cowardly Lion in The Wizard of Oz. Because I think in the movie, the Cowardly Lion does pick up the dog at one point, or is at least around the dog. Because there's a dog, Toto's obviously Jaw. The Woo would probably be the Tin Men, because he's looking... If only I had a... Now, of course, the Cowardly Lion wants courage. If only I had courage. Now, Scarecrow, I would say Grimlife. Because they'd be looking for a brain or like a scholar kind of thing. While Adam the Woo would probably be the Tin Man. So what was the Tin Man looking for? He was looking for a heart. So he could feel, right? He didn't have a heart. He didn't have a ticker. He wanted to feel. Remember, he cries? So he wanted to feel something. While the lion wanted courage. Now, what did the lion? They all had to get it from the Oz, which would be the Carpetbagger. Carpetbagger would be the Oz, because he's from the north. Carpetbagger, he is a Yankee from the north, so he is Oz. So they all represent something. The Tin Men did want a heart. The Cowardly Lion, it's a cool classic right there. The Cowardly Lion wanted courage. Right. He wanted courage. He was even afraid of Toto. Dorothy wanted to get home, and she had to get home by clicking her heels together with red slippers. That would probably be Tina, or Teeny Planet, who now is an interior decorator that's dealing with the home. Interior decoration has to do with the home or the house. So Teeny Planet would actually be Dorothy. This is pretty interesting. Now, you have the 3 witches. Or actually 4 witches. Sorry, 4 witches. One of them's dead, though. I want to say it's the witch of the East that died. There's a Wicked Witch of the West, I think. No, that's right. Well, Wicked Witch of the West, I think she dies by the house. The Wicked Witch of the East dies later on from the water. They pour water on her. Then you have the Witch of the North, the Good Witch of the North, and then you have the Good Witch of the South. So it's probably going to be 4 other female vloggers that will represent the witches, if they're all representing something in the Wizard of Oz. Because now we're in hard times, and Oz represents the fairness of the country, maybe. Or what Oz really represented was ounce. So the farmers were not getting the money they needed to survive. So the Oz represented the ounce that they needed. They needed the payments to be justified. Or really, they needed the payments to be fair. And Oz represented that. It was written from the kind of the mind of a child. Anyway, that what I was just doing kind of comparisons on stuff. See, the whole idea behind Wizard of Oz was about justice and being fair. And Dorothy was under a lot of pressure because she had to try to get back home, but her getting back home was the justice. Her getting back home was the justice in the story, because she was unjustly swept away by a tornado. Injustice came about. So she wasn't treated right, and she had to go through a lot of challenges to get out of this weird world, this strange place that she was. And once she returned back, then everything became justified. She was in injustice, right? She was in a world that did not treat her right because of the witch. The witch was evil, was trying to get her little dog, and her too, right? She was trying to become captured by something that was evil and wrong and sinful, like the devil. Yes, the witch was the devil that lived in the strange land of Oz. And she had to overcome the devil. Very similar to Pilgrim's Progress. If you ever read John Bunyan, it's almost exactly the same setup. The tornado is very similar to what Christian hears when he hears the City of Destruction. You got to read Pilgrim's Progress too, but Wizard of Oz is great. So my question is, would Bucky be like the flying monkeys in Wizard of Oz? There's not that many of them. So I don't know what maybe the flying monkeys would be all the cars. Bucky might be like a friend, or Bucky could be kind of like maybe the place where you go in and you get like your nails trimmed and all that kind of stuff. That'd be more kind of like Walmart though. Like Town of Vanity and Pilgrim's Progress is in Wizard of Oz. Emerald City, yeah. Well, I guess the Emerald City would be Dallas. Yeah, it'd be downtown Dallas. Bucky would maybe be connected to the Emerald City in some way because this is where to get gas and it's part of the commercialism, you know, everything that's going on. Oh my goodness. Okay. Yeah, I'd say downtown Dallas would be Emerald City, probably. Or New York. You could say New York might be Emerald City, too. New York City, yeah. Yeah, New York City would probably represent Emerald City. We might go by Guitar Center of Keller. I might, look around. I really like their setup on their synthesizer. They also have a pretty interesting drum setup. The bass there is pretty good, and their guitars are not too bad. Actually, one guitar that they have there is like over $4,000 or something. So they have a really cool setup. And you're looking over Summerfield right here, and then way over there in the distance is a place called Fort Worth, which is my hometown. Way, way, way over there. But we're gonna check out Guitar Center. Familiar with this if you watch the vlogs. Real big butthole in my left hand right here, but he's gonna go ahead and go by. He's in a big hurry. Big hurry. Let him go. And this, this little roundabout right here, and that's one of the 7-Elevens I vlogged too before. So we're gonna go around there and kind of maybe look at some instruments. And right now, probably just a synthesizer. Maybe show like a new opening, new theme song kind of thing. Just toying around. For representing the Linda and Cole Band, or the Linda and Cole Spivey Band is another name for it. We're also known as the L&C Band. We've got a few names. We've got a lot of different names. Like a lot of entities out there have several different names that represent one thing, which is a band. So we're pulling up now on Main Event Entertainment. And that would be where the Guitar Center is. I want to say probably they're open till 9. But I'm not 100% sure. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm a whole lot sure. There they are right there. Right next to Winco. That's Winco. There they are, right there. Looks like some people are coming out of it. You can kind of see it a little bit there.